Hey everyone, and welcome back to Epic in 5. You watched our recap of The Godfather, and now we're diving into the sequel that many argue is even better, The Godfather Part 2. If you haven't seen our recap of the first film, you can click the card up here or check the description of the video to catch up on Michael's initial rise. This film doesn't just continue Michael Corleone's story. It masterfully flashes back to the origins of the entire empire, showing us how a young immigrant named Vito Corleone became the legendary Don. This is a saga of ambition, betrayal, and the crushing cost of power, broken down in an Epic in 5 format. Let's jump into the recap. We open in 1901 Sicily, where the story of Vito Corleone begins. After his family is murdered by the local Don, the young boy escapes to America, arriving alone on Ellis Island. A clerical error changes his name to Vito Corleone. We see the humble beginnings, a quiet man in Little Italy who takes work to support his growing family. After being unfairly fired by the local crime boss, Don Finucci, Vito realizes that to thrive in this new world, he must become a man of consequence. In a defining moment, Vito confronts and murders Finucci, signaling his rise. The community, grateful to be rid of the exploitative blackmailer, now comes to Vito for favors. He establishes his reputation, not as a brute, but as a man who offers help with respect and loyalty. The foundations of the Corleone Empire are laid, built on legitimate businesses as a front for his quiet, powerful influence. The story flashes forward to 1958, several years after Michael consolidated his power. He has moved the Corleone operations to Nevada, seeking to finally legitimize the family. They are hosting a massive party to celebrate the confirmation of his children, but beneath the opulence, Michael is besieged. He is dealing with a hostile Senate investigation into his criminal activities and is deep into a deal with the shady Jewish gangster, Hyman Roth, to take over Havana casinos. The night is shattered when an assassination attempt is made on Michael in his home. He survives and, knowing the attack came from someone close, becomes ruthlessly paranoid. He entrusts his empire to his consigliere, Tom Hagen, and dedicates himself to finding the traitor. Michael travels to Havana to finalize the deal with Roth, who he correctly suspects is behind the hit. When Fidel Castro's revolution boils over, forcing a hasty retreat, Michael uses the chaos to his advantage. He subtly orders the murder of Roth's enforcer, Johnny Ola. It is in Havana that Michael tests his brother Fredo. He tasks Fredo with a simple mission that he fails to deliver on, but the failure reveals a deeper truth. Fredo is a nervous wreck. Back in the U.S., the pressure crushes the family. Michael's wife, Kay, tries to leave him, exposing the horrific truth during a tense confrontation.
It wasn't a miscarriage. It was an abortion.
She terminated her pregnancy because she refused to bring another Corleone son into Michael's violent world. This betrayal hardens Michael's heart completely, and he banishes Kay from his life. The senatorial hearings provide the setting for the ultimate confrontation. Michael's chief witness, the former Capo regime Frankie Pentangeli, is set to testify against him. Michael's men bring Pentangeli's brother from Sicily to the hearing. Seeing his brother, a symbol of the old world family code, Pentangeli reverses his testimony and then commits suicide, choosing loyalty to the family over a life as a snitch. Michael then orchestrates his final acts of vengeance. Hyman Roth, attempting to seek asylum, is assassinated at the airport, and then comes the tragic final confrontation with his own brother. Michael finally learns that Fredo was the weak link, giving information to Roth out of a wounded pride. He felt ignored by his younger brother. Fredo desperately pleads it was only business, but Michael is implacable. Though he promises Fredo temporary safety, he delays his vengeance only until their mother dies. In the final, devastating sequence, Michael sits alone at Lake Tahoe, watching from his window as Fredo is killed while fishing. He has saved his kingdom, but at the cost of his brother's life. The film's final flashback is a moment of painful irony. The Corleone siblings gather to plan a birthday surprise for Vito. Only Michael is there, announcing he has enlisted in the Marines. The family is horrified. They want safety, not war. Michael sits alone at the dinner table as his brothers, sister, and Kay leave to greet their father. Michael is left in solitary reflection, completely isolated, a picture that mirrors his final, tragic state as the dawn. The empire is secured, but the man is lost. Wow, what an intense, sprawling masterpiece. The Godfather Part 2 truly shows us that the cost of ultimate power is total isolation. Now, I want to hear from you. Which story thread was more compelling? Vito's ambitious rise in the past, or Michael's desperate paranoia in the present? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. I love reading your takes. If you enjoyed this epic and 5 look at one of cinema's greats, do me a huge favor. Smash that like button, share this summary with a friend who needs a refresher, and definitely hit subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.